What is up, guys? It is Java Legends here, and this is basically, I guess you can call it, beta of the idea I had, and this is the tutorial track for anyone who comes to racing the Grand Prix. This is, I guess you can call it, racetrack number 1, Temple's Shore. Now I'm just gonna run through the track as if you were to come here. I'm gonna do a bit of it flying, guess. This underground part is just basically for one reason. Because Xbox does not load it properly on Minecraft for some reason. This entire area I had to create underground just so people can come load in the map, and when the race starts, not be waiting in a boat for the thing to load up. Alright, so let's climb up these vines. I'm hoping that the match will load right once this is done. However, everyone will get their maps loaded correctly once this is started. And on this first track, I will introduce you to the rules and regulations as such. And yes, I know I said regulations. Alright. Welcome to MineKart's Temple's Shore. Now keep in mind, MineKart is just kind of a beta name for it. I haven't decided a better name, and I don't know what to change it to because I don't want it to be too much. Anyway, this is basically MineKart with boats. This will not be race 1 of 8 in the Grand Prix. As I said before, this will be more of a tutorial track. Whatever happens in this race does not count, but this race is actually to help you, get accustomed to and familiar with boating and the boats and stuff. So, when you race in the Grand Prix, remember it's 1 of 8 races. There's 8 races in total for each Grand Prix. You get first place, you get 10 points and a starting item, which I've decided will be an additional boat. Second place will be 8 points. Third place will be 7th. 4th will be 5 points, 5th will be 4 points, 6th will be 2 points, and 7th will be 1 point. There's 7 slots for each racer because there's only 8 people per game, and I have to do stuff while people are racing. You will select a colored port and keep that color throughout the Grand Prix. Wait for the host to start the race and begin. Race fair, and good luck, racers. You cannot hit your opponents, but you can destroy their boats, only with the items in the boxes. You start with 10 boats, obviously. If you lose all of your boats in the race, you'll be disqualified and will only get 1 point for that race. You cannot swim or walk on the course. That rule has been changed slightly in several places because of stuff that you will see coming up. Cheating of any kind will result in kickings and whatever. Items in boxes. Spider webs. Place them down to slow down your opponents. When your opponents run into them, their boat still moves, but it moves so slowly, you might want to just abandon that boat. Stone. Used to block path of racers. Last 1 lap. So when you put it down, and you pass and you race in a lap race, because few of the races are basically sprints, and you race and come back around, I destroy it. It's done. Splash potion. You throw it to slow down your opponents temporarily. It's a splash potion of slowness. It doesn't slow them down for very long, but you do notice the slowness. It lasts for like 2-3 seconds. When you're in the boat, it slows down because the boat has to regain speed. Potion of swiftness, used to give a slight boost to yourself. This works as well on the boat. Best used when you have to speed back up, like after you hit into an obstacle. Also, if say, for instance, you were thrown out of your boat, you move a little bit faster, getting back into your boat. So I guess it's a slight speed, but it's nothing too OP. Ender Pearl, used to teleport forward or backward, whichever way you want to do, whatever, but you lose your boat. Obviously, throwing it will result in you losing the boat, and you have to be careful how you throw it, because if you throw it out of the map, then you have to go back to where you threw it. So basically, it's a good thing and a bad thing depending on how you use it. I recommend people use it, like say if after their boat was destroyed, throw it forward, not too much forward that you're not sure where it's gonna land, but at least forward enough so you're back in front of the person who destroyed your boat. Bow and arrow, used to destroy your enemy's boats, obviously by shooting them. PvP will be off, so you can't actually hurt them by shooting. Bolts for extra lives, and shares for spiderwebs. Because each box could hold as much as 5 spiderwebs, they can't get too OP because you'll be able to block off an entire path. I would intervene in cases like that, but in cases where you don't want to lose the boat you are currently in, you can use spiderweb to destroy that spiderweb and move on. Obviously, my channel right here, and the ports are forward. You would rate right here where I would give you each of your boats in position, and you would choose one of each colored ports, either being red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, purple, or white. You would place your boat, obviously, inside the area and come up to the starting line. This is where I need to do a bit of work. My work starts from here. I pull this lever, and all of the sand comes down at one time. From this race onward, after this race, it's the color of the actual wool, but for now it's sand, because I was still trying to understand the inner workings of how to get this thing done right. Timing and everything. So, anyway. You come along the race, obviously you drop down, and the race has begun. This is not a lap race, this is more of a sprint. Obviously just to get your idea started. I introduce you to one of the first measures, which is the boost. This boosts your boat forward because of the stream, but you don't get sent back, which is stopped by the actual layer of we call it signs. I'll give you it in action. While you move slowly, it shoots you forward. You can use it to your advantage, or it just regulates your speed even more. Then I give you the cobwebs, which are the stuffs, of course, that will slow you down if you don't avoid them. Keep in mind, bumping into your opponent's boats causes your boat to move even more, so this causes, I guess you can say, a starting point of the race. Who's gonna hold the first spots? Here is the item boxes. In each of these will be items which you can use against your opponents during the races. Each is going to have different items. Some boxes might be a little more stronger than others, but in lapped races, after the first lap, there'll only be 1 item in each chest instead of 3. Another thing is wall boosts. These are to help you get around tough corners. Because as I said before, this is the tutorial track. I have to put these just so you get accustomed to how they work, and hopefully to get around pesky walls. You come along this track, obviously, and here are more of the item boxes. And this is something that took me a while to perfect, although I guess it's pretty simple for people who do PC. The up waterfall, I guess you can call it. It basically boosts you. Unlike Minecraft, you can't really send a boat going upstream, except on PC where you just put a layer of water above it and it rises up. But here you have to go through this, which isn't too difficult. Once you get it done right, it pushes your boat up. If you have enough speed, you would go right, you would shoot right up. Like right up. So it's a waterfall you can climb. Yes, it tells you to slow down. You come on down here, and this is a change of scenery. So instead of being in the sea, you're actually on the land. I created each map not only with an idea in hand, but to go with the land itself. What you see here wasn't built, of course. This was actually the land I didn't do too much to. I just built the area through it and continued. That way it looks as real as possible. This is the underground labyrinth. Hopefully that chicken doesn't fall in. No, chicken. Okay. Not only is the water boost here a good thing, but a bad thing because of the impeding lava on the track. This can destroy your boat instantly. Like that. So you have to avoid them while going through. I'm on creative, so it doesn't bother me. But unfortunately, when you do this, if you want to race, you won't be in creative. So it will hurt you. And if you do die, that is considered a disqualification for that race. This is a bit of a trouble I'm talking about where you might have to walk up. This up waterfall gives a bit of trouble, especially to newcomers. It works fine if you know how to use it. I'll give you an example of how to use it. Oh, down below there is actually a beta. That was where it was supposed to go, but I decided not to. See, if you don't go into it right, you'll mess it up. But if you pull it right, it's almost like surfing. If you don't go up it at once, you have to ride a certain wave that will push you up. And almost. You have to stay on the specific block of water, unless it's just gonna keep pushing you down. Up. Didn't do too well there. Alright. Push button, do not pull lever. Or is it the other way around? I honestly can't remember. This is the water temple itself. Do not let the scary facade scare you. I honestly have no idea what this was supposed to be. I just made it and I have no idea. This was supposed to be fangs. Which is why the sign says, beware of the fangs. And again with the water boost. This is where it gets a little more tricky. The alleyways around here are a lot more sharper and there's a lot more spider webs. Which is why I didn't put as much shares in the boxes so far. This is where you come around tight corners. And you have to learn that some boost might hurt you more than it might help you. When I put something someplace, it is strategic for a reason. It might be to help you, it might be to hurt you, or it might just be to teach you a lesson. This is coming on to the end of the race, and I guess I'll take it in a boat. Oops. That's why you're given more than one boat, ladies and gentlemen. And this is basically the end of the first race. Not every race will be a sprint. Some races will in fact be laps. Will be a little bit shorter, maybe. Some might even be longer and still might be laps. But I said this is the first race. I guess this is a little area to hang out that I made. You can go up and fish and stuff. You can learn to maneuver your boat a little better in here. And I guess this is the more free time of the races. Anyway, I thank you guys for sticking around for the video. If you've stuck around this long, leave a comment down below saying that you did. And I thank you guys for watching this video. And until next time, guys, peace.